Okay, hi, my name is Pia McAdams. I am coming to you today. Earlier this morning, I did a broadcast. It was a live broadcast that's is Transfer Your Life in 15 Minutes. And this is where we do 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And for the mind portion, what we're doing today is we're actually reading out of my book. I wrote a book entitled Your Body, The Perfect Life, and How to Find Your True Purpose and Achieve Balance in Life. So in this earlier broadcast, I mentioned that today's word was on balance. And I shared in the broadcast a way to how to ground yourself and it helps to achieve balance in your life. So I decided to come on a little early, later on today, right now, to kind of talk more about balance and how to achieve balance in your life. So I have someone that's actually going to be coming on with me, and I got to tell you the story of how I met Carmen. But before I do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Pia McAdams. I am an author. I'm also an accounting professor, and I'm also a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and fitness. I help people reach their goals. So in that capacity, I'm broadcasting today on how to help you reach your goal as it relates to being balanced. So I met Carmen last month actually at it was a 3-day boot camp that we attended down in San Diego. I live in Southern California. So we attended a 3-day boot camp, and this boot camp was about how to publish a book and grow rich. Because remember, I told you I wrote a book. And by the way, the book that I talked about, I actually wrote 3 years ago, but that's another story. Listen to the broadcast if you want to know that. And actually, I'm going to get ahead of myself, aren't I? I want to thank you for listening to this broadcast. Bell, hi, nice to see you. Yes, too. Can you believe it? This is so exciting for me. But anyway, so thank you for watching this broadcast. So back to Carmen. So I attended this boot camp, and let me just kind of give you the scenario. I got there a little earlier, and when I got there, you know how you sign in and do all this stuff. And so I was probably about a half an hour, 40 minutes early, maybe an hour early. And so I went to go find a spot, and there's like a pool with like little chairs sitting around it. And Carmen and her friend Jackie were sitting at the pool. And so I decided to go over and sit next to the ladies. I'm like, okay, I'm here at a networking event. You know, I want to network and just meet new people. So I started talking to Carmen and Jackie, just, introducing ourselves and, kind of telling what we do and that kind of stuff. Well, let me just kind of preface this to say that prior to me meeting Carmen, during my research and studies, because, I'm always doing that, right? I was, I was researching about balance and, because again, for my clients, I want to make sure I'm sharing, up-to-date information and just different alternative ways to approach different things. Remember, it's all about having an open mindset. So anyway, so I was in the process of researching about balance in different ways to achieve balance. Like I know about the breath, I know about that, but I really got involved, or in my research, I came across like some oils. And so again, I don't believe in coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. Guess what Carmen's expertise is in? Essential oils. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I was asking her all these questions. I probably like blew her ear off the first time I met her because I had all these questions about the oil because again, I just would start doing research on it. And here I am the next day or a couple days later, I'm sitting in the midst of an expert on oils. And so we start talking about that. And long story short, I'm inviting Carmen today to talk about oils, essential oils, and how it affects or how it can help you create balance in your life. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Carmen Uhri. Carmen, you there?
I am.
Hi.
Hi. So I know when I met you, you have an amazing smile. It's captivating.
Thank you.
You were talking, and I could kind of tell when people, will ask me questions about different things, and I can kind of tell which oil they may need. And balance is one of the ones that I gave you as a sample.
The sample right here.
And so I wanted you, and another thing, you're my guinea pig too. Because I said, try it, and then I'll call you in a couple of days. I want you to
right.
How you like it, because I know, there's nothing more than experiencing the oils themselves, because everyone's different. We have different DNA. Okay, so balance. I love it. In fact, I'm going to open my bottle right now because it's just so calming and relieving. But I first wanted to tell you about the essential oils. Now, you go outside. When we go camping, we go outside and we see all these. We're out in the forest or wherever, and we see these trees, and we're like, "Wow, this thing's been here for hundreds, maybe 1,000 years."
Right.
So oils are actually a defense mechanism of the plant. Okay, So when you think about it, it heals them, and you have the forces out there and the environment and that sort of thing. Well, we're inside a lot of times, but then we go outside. Why wouldn't we use the defense mechanisms of a plant in our bodies?
Doesn't that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, right? And then why not, if you're using oils, why you should use food grade, okay?
But wait, before you go into all that, let me ask you this though. So what got you into oils though? Because again, for me, it was research on balance and something totally different. But how did you get introduced to oils?
Yes, that was a few years back. I was a full-time teacher. I was worried about my students graduating from high school. And my boss said, if your students don't graduate, that's an impression on you. I stressed out. I couldn't sleep. And then your health starts getting affected when you can't sleep. So I went for the oils and eating healthier and exercising because I needed to relax more and not stress out about my students, because that would be better for them if I wasn't stressed out. So a friend of mine said, come on over, let me just put these on your spine. Oh my gosh, I felt it like in 3-4 minutes. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I haven't been healthier, ever since. Ever since, I'm healthier and healthier each day, because there's a learning curve. There's education about essential oils, so you can't learn these overnight. But did that help?
No, it actually did. And I can actually relate to that, because when you came over my house a couple nights ago and you gave me, like, ever since then, I've actually been using them. And I, of course, use the balance. And I love, of course, the lavender. But it's an effect immediately. Like when you were in my house and you were showing me that when I was just sniffing it, you can actually feel the effects of the oil. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I have been learning this for about 5 years. But your balance, it's exactly what it says. It's actually a grounding blend, and they called it balance because that's exactly what it does. It balances your body, gets you back into harmony. Actually helps your emotions too. So let me just go over here real quick. It's a woody smell. It has spruce, hogwood, frankincense, blue tansy, and this one is a blend, okay? So they put a fraction of coconut oil with it to drive it more, and it goes further too. So like this one, you would not drink, okay? So a lot of
oils you can drink. Because let me just tell you guys, like for me, the only experience I really have with oils would be cooking oil and then baby oil, which is really not an oil. And I see like Nell Bell in the comments is saying that she used a lavender essential oil mixed with coconut oil for her baby. So this is safe to use even on little small babies?
Definitely. Anyone under the age of 15, you do have to use a carrier oil. And that fraction of coconut oil, olive oil, aloe vera oil, people use different things. Definitely. And it's
now, I'm going to just ask you, Carmen, sorry to interrupt you, but can you see the comments or not? Because I see the comments. I just kind of want to make sure that as the people are asking me questions that I approach those. So one of the things that someone just asked, Nelbo just asked is, can you actually drink essential oils? Like,
yes, it says on the bottle, okay? It says certified pure, therapeutic grade. I mean, these are tested. They're strict. doTERRA International is amazing. So for example, this immune blend that we have, it has orange in it. I drink orange juice. Okay, this has orange from the rind. I don't chew on the rind, but this is perfect because it's straight from the rind and it's actually sweet. Yes, you can, but you want to look at your instructions on your bottle, and it says, 1 drop for every 4 ounces. You don't want to overdo it either, because these are highly potent, okay, straight from the rind. So definitely cinnamon. I just put cinnamon in my oatmeal today when I ate.
Okay.
I eat cinnamon.
You know what? When I made those brownies, you mentioned that I could have put like the little drops of peppermint in there, the peppermint oil.
Yeah, that's all you need, because it's pretty potent. It's pretty potent.
Now, are there any oils that you can think of like right off the bat? And you may just start with the ones that the samples you gave me, but are there some that you really shouldn't digest? I know that there's tons of oils out there, and so it's located on the bottle, but off the top of your head, can you think of something that you say, okay, this is one you really don't want to digest, or you really should just put it on topical?
Yeah, and you always go by the instructions, okay. But let me think for a minute. We have a blend called Deep Blue, and it's for inflammation, sorry. It supports your inflammation and stuff. And, but it has fraction of coconut oil in there too. and it says on it for topical use only. So,
Okay.
but it has, what's it called? It's what Ben Gay has in it. So it has peppermint. I take peppermint. I consume that. I'm trying to remember now. All of a sudden, the word's not coming to me.
That's
But
okay.
there's
It
that
happens
one.
all the time.
Exactly. You're not consuming that
Now,
one.
now let me ask you this though. So when you're dealing with the oils, tell me, what do you do with them? Like obviously if it's a cooking oil, I know to cook with it. Let's say if it's baby oil, I put it on my skin. But when you're talking about like these potent oils right here, what do I do with, like, where do I put it? How's it going to affect me? Be more effective for me?
Okay, we have reflex points. So your elbows, behind your ears. My favorite spot is right on my spine, behind my neck. I
Okay.
love it, and you always put it under your nose because your olfactory really controls the mood. Okay, but also I don't know if you knew, but your feet have the largest pores right there where the arch is. That's a
Right.
beautiful with some fraction
So
of
you
cooking
put
oil.
oil. You put oil there too as well. Well, you know what? It makes, oh gosh, it makes sense. Okay, with Jesus, with the oil. Okay, I get it now. I got it.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
it. I
So
love the connection.
and it's nice to massage your feet anyway and on your toes. I mean, we have an amazing book called the Modern Essentials book that is used by practitioners. You can also get the app, Modern Essentials app.
Yeah, tell us more about the app, because I know when you came to my house, like, you showed me this app, and I thought that was just great. Like, because I'll let you tell what it does.
Yeah, well, basically the app. Can you guys see that? It has
I
a
see it. I see it.
gorgeous man's body there. But
What's it called? What is that called?
the Modern Essentials app.
Okay.
Okay, it's $6.99. It's for life. They even update it. So if you want to look up something like, let's think of something here.
Do myrrh, because remember that was one of the ones that I asked you about. Like, look up myrrh.
Okay, MY. Okay, so you look it up, and it'll tell you. It'll give you some quick facts. The botanical family. See, I love this. Practitioners actually use this because
So it's sort of like a doctor's reference, or like a lawyer's. Well, lawyers have tons of references, but so the doctors, but like a reference book, and it tells you everything about the oil.
common primary uses, even French medicinal uses, because the French really were the first ones using oils and improving them and stuff. How to apply it, the properties, myrrh, anti-infectious, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic. And this is from that book, okay? I like to use the word supporting the body because everybody's different. And let's see, other properties, amazing. Let's see, aromatic influence. It also even tells you what oil to blend with the myrrh.
Okay, to make it more effective.
You would blend myrrh, frankincense, lavender, sandalwood.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me. Now let me ask you this, because there's a question in the comment. Can you talk more about diffusing oils in your home? Like you were telling me about that, because remember you asked me, did I have a diffuser? A diffuser. This is what we talked about actually in San Diego. You asked me to have a diffuser, and I'm thinking, the candle. And can you talk more about that?
Definitely. Okay, so it's called cold diffusing. Okay,
That's better. Now explain, because remember I'm a novice here, so
I
so
know.
in other words, what's the difference between cold and hot, and what do you mean by that?
Right. You never really want to use warm water, or how they have those oils at Walmart that you heat up, or the ones that you plug in.
Right.
That will tell you that there are fillers in there, so you can burn it. You don't want to burn oils. These things are so pure and this one's an unguarded. When you use a cold diffuser, you're basically allowing the molecules to come out, and you're inhaling that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it. You want it like 3 or 4 feet away from you. Okay, but you want it around the house to purify your home, to enhance your environment. Okay, so you don't want to use a warm or even a humidifier. People say, "Can I put it in my humidifier?" Well, yes, you can, but you're wasting it. Okay, so you use the cold diffuser. And
now, when you say with the cold diffuser, how does that work? Like how much do you use, and what is the expansion area of that diffuser?
Okay, so we have diffusers that are 4-hour diffusers, and usually I use 1 or 2 drops. Okay, and it's usually about a cup of water in that diffuser. Then we have a larger one that actually even the 8-hour diffuser, I just put 2 or 3 drops in there. I start. It's always good when you're new at this. It's always good to start with 1, try it out, and then try 2. Some people like 3, so it depends on. But we don't want to overdo it because then if someone walks in, they might be sensitive.
What would happen if you overdid it though? Like what
Your,
could happen?
your room just smells like too many oranges, kind of thing. But the important thing is they have the larger diffuser for 1,000, 1,200 square feet, and they have the smaller diffusers for 400 or 300 square feet. But you want it at least 4 feet away from you. You don't want it right at your desk and you're inhaling. That's not. You don't want to do that. It's like anything. None of us like to inhale things in our lungs. You have these people using those smoking things, but I wondered about them inhaling.
I agree. I do so as well.
But diffusers are very therapeutic. I use a blend called Breathe at night. Because it really supports my husband and me. He snores, and it helps him. The air clears up the air in the room, and he breathes better. So I'm sleeping at night. That's amazing. That really is great, too, and it purifies the air and everything too. But there are different blends and different oils in your diffuser.
Okay.
To kill pathogens to help a lot of different issues, depending on what's going on during the year, during the season, allergies and stuff like that too.
Okay.
Really support.
Now, let's say, for instance, with the balance oil, let's say that let's do a little scenario where there's a person that has kids, they have a full-time job, they have a husband, so there's a lot of stresses. How would this balance help that person? And you can either answer it that way, or if you know a specific client that you have or a person that it actually has helped, like give me an example of how, a concrete example of how this oil will help someone.
Well, balance gives you a feeling of tranquility and relaxation. Okay, so let's say, and a lot of wives can do this. Maybe you get home before he does from work and you just put the diffuser on. So, because, really, you're in your car. They have diffusers for cars too, guys. You're in your car, and my husband he has his own case with oils that he carries in his truck.
Oh, so your husband uses them as well?
Oh yeah, at first he wasn't, because that's just perfume, because he was allergic to perfume. You can't even walk into Nordstrom's right now, and I said, no, these are oils, they're natural. And then I started using the oils, and he's like, wow, that smells pretty good. And then he has like 15 oils in his case in his truck, and he uses whatever, so basically the husband gets home, the balance is that's why they call it balance. It's a grounding blend. It's tranquil. It's relaxing. How to explain? When you're out camping and you smell the pine from the pine trees.
Right.
Isn't that tranquil and therapeutic? Where when you grab it and you smell it, and you're out there camping and you're barbecuing or whatever you're doing. So basically,
so I know exactly what you're talking about. Just really being out there in nature, and just absorbing and breathing in the I want to say pure, because it may not be pure depending on where you're camping, but generally speaking, I've actually been into the Appalachian trails where there is a little bit more pure than, let's say, if I was camping here in Southern California with the smog. But you're breathing in the air and in the trees, the fragrance of the natural fragrances of the environment. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So basically, you're bringing in the outdoors.
Hey, honey. Sorry, I'm talking to my sister.
You're bringing the outdoors, indoors.
Okay.
When you're diffusing, you just brought in, like if I do my On Guard, which has orange and cinnamon, it almost smells like Christmas. You're bringing the outdoors in, but it's also therapeutic and cleansing to the air and everything. So why not? Why not make your
Let's go ahead and let's do our little legal disclaimer that we're not dispensing medical advice or anything like that. This is just an alternative way to help achieve balance in your life. So we want to make sure we get that out of the way. Now, my sister just came on, and she's also a teacher as well. She's a music teacher in Florida. So can you explain a little bit more? Because I know you told me stories because you're a teacher as well. Can you explain how this helps you with the children, with dealing with the children on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, there are teachers that are diffusing actually in the classroom, and peppermint. Whoops! Wait a second. Did I lose you?
No, you're still on there.
I'm still.
Yeah.
My. That's so funny. I was touching my computer and I just saw this calculator. But anyway, so for example, peppermint. It helps, supports the memory. Okay, so why wouldn't you run peppermint in the classroom before they take their little tests, their state tests, for students? So it's highly used in the classroom to wake them up or to calm them down. Orange is supportive and calming, but also gives you some energy as well. So they're not so hyper, too. So there's an oil for everything, and that book is really helpful. But also there is, especially this one right here, is being used in hospitals now. Okay, the On Guard, because it has supports stress, but also purifies the air quality as well. So you might want to use that as well in a classroom to improve the air quality. Because those rooms, I've been in rooms, believe me, that have mold. I've been in classrooms that have mold. And that's not healthy to children as well.
No, absolutely not. It's not healthy for us, so it's definitely not healthy for the children. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Carmen, is there anything else that you would like to add about the oils and the effects of the oils on how it helps with balance, or just basically improving your state of being, your state of mind, and overall environment?
Well, oils were used in the past, a lot of herbs, and then they turned more to the oils, and they started making perfumes. And oils, like you said, do support your body. In fact, this balance, spruce that's in this balance, was used by Native Americans for health and spiritual reasons. So, and they're still using it today for harmony and mind and body, too. So that's one of my favorites. But I use, those are good 25, 30 oils that I use daily.
Now, speaking of, I don't think you looked up balance. So what you're saying is that this balance is actually a blend of other oils.
Yes. Spruce, hoe wood, frankincense, blue tansy, and they added some fractionated coconut oil.
Oh, the frankincense. Remember I asked about the frankincense and the myrrh while you were here. Okay. Cool.
So I really love them. And anybody has any questions? Actually, I wanted to add too, because I will be having other classes too. So, okay. And Carmen,
and tell us what you do and how to get in contact with you if anyone has any other questions. Because if you ask me, I'm just going to be asking Carmen, so you might as well ask Carmen.
Yeah, I'm in Vista, California, near Oceanside. If some of you are familiar with that area. I actually go anywhere in San Diego. I've gone to Northridge, Hollywood, and everywhere. I do presentations and teach people how to use essential oils to live a healthier life, and the blends. We talk about the blends, but sometimes the classes are more catered. If there's 5 people, they're catered for those 5 people and the issues that they might want to talk about, and it really becomes very interesting and healing, too. So if you have any questions, though, you can friend me at Carmen Healing. Okay, and I'm going to probably have a class every week on there, but I do Facebook Live. I don't know if you can see that.
Wait, let me see. Hold it back up, and then move it toward the right. The left. Right. And then go back a little, because I don't know if they can see it. Go back a little, and then move it over toward your to your left. There. Okay, right there. Okay, so Carmen Healing, and I know for you guys it's probably backwards. But I'll go ahead and put it in the comments. Matter of fact, I'll put a link to, I'll tag you on this or put a link to your page. So yeah. When are you doing this broadcast or this training?
Yes, and I usually do Facebook Live, so it'll be recorded on there. So just friend me, and if you have any questions, that sort of thing, I'd be happy to answer. And that's how, I have several people on there right now, probably 100.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of keep it more private, but
So this is a group there. So I just want people to understand this is not your main Facebook page. This is your group that you actually do classes on essential oils and answer questions and that kind of stuff on that group page. Is that correct?
Yes. I can give you the retail site. You want me to give you the retail site?
So if people are interested in sampling oils, then absolutely. Why not? All right. So give her a second as she's writing that out.
It's actually pretty easy, but she's still using the Carmen Healing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, can you see that?
Go back a little, and then go over to the right a little.
Am I right?
Okay, right there. There you go. Okay, so it says My Datura, and is that D-O or D-E?
MyDoTerra.com /
Yeah, is that doTERRA? Is that D-O-T-E-R-R-A or D-E? Is that an O or E?
D-O.
Okay, so DOTERRA.com / Carmen Healing.
Carmen Healing. And doTERRA just means D-O-T or do means gift, and terra, it's like Spanish tierra, means earth. So gift of the earth.
Oh, how great. I didn't know that. So gift of earth.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What a great company name. Seriously.
Yes, and they're amazing. I didn't mention to you, they're certified per therapeutic grade on each bottle. They're tested by 4 separate companies outside of doTERRA, and no pesticides. They're not genetically modified, no herbicides, no foreign objects. You have the best quality when you purchase them.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Carmen. Again, the purpose of this broadcast is just to find alternative ways to help you create balance. So again, earlier I mentioned about using your breath, which is a natural, easy way to do it. And then right now, Carmen just introduced you to using oils as well as a way to create balance. And like I said, she just gave me this sample of balance, and I just got it, I think it was like 2 days ago. Yeah, the Carmen was over here at my house. And she gave me some other samples as well. So as I'm experiencing these, I will definitely share it with you guys, my experiences of the uses of these oils. So Carmen, would you be willing to come back on later on another time as broadcast affects different things that relates to oils? Would you be willing to come back on and talk with us more about it?
Sure, that'll be fun.
Okay, but in the meantime, if you do have any information on the essential oils, then feel free to reach out to Carmen. Again, just go to Carmen Healing, or if you want to go to actually look at the oils and the different ones that they have available, you can go to mydoTERRA.com / Carmen Healing, and you'll be able to find her there. And again, I'll put more information in the comments. But I want to thank you, Carmen, for taking the time out of your morning to chat with me and to chat with my viewers on the essentials of oils and how to create balance in your life. All right. Well, thank you for listening, and I will see you later.
Bye.